In this section, I'll go over some basic tools you'll start working with as you learn more about the Ethereum network. The goal of this video is to give you a basic introduction to each of these tools. Throughout the lesson, we'll go further into the process of downloading, installing, and working with them. The first tool I'd like to introduce and show you is called Etherscan. Etherscan is the Ethereum Blockchain Explorer. It gives you access to search the Ethereum network directly from a website. Anytime you're trying to search for details on smart contracts, accounts, or general ideas, this is a great place to start. Another important tool is called MetaMask. This browser extension brings Ethereum into your browser. Anytime you want to interact with a dApp, you'll need to get access to the Ethereum blockchain to do that. MetaMask provides this functionality and helps you set up the accounts that can interact directly with the Ethereum blockchain. Next up is Remix. Remix is an online integrated development environment for creating smart contracts. It's really easy to get started with, and you'll be building your first application using this tool shortly. It has a ton of great features that allow you to build, compile, deploy, and test applications from completely within the browser. While writing smart contracts is the way to write information to the blockchain, a huge part of creating applications is being able to read information from the blockchain as well. That's done using the Ethereum JavaScript API, known as Web3. Almost anything you can find on Etherscan, anything you see while using MetaMask, and much more can all be done using the Web3 libraries. We'll be using this a lot to read and interact with the blockchain. While Web3 can give you access to the Ethereum blockchain, it doesn't actually give you the initial connection you'll need to send and receive data. To make the actual connection, you'll need a different tool. In these lessons, we'll be doing that using a tool named Infura. Once in Infura, you'll be able to access the endpoint URLs that help you make connections and start working with the Ethereum blockchain. Infura can give you access to the live networks, but you won't always need to connect to that network to develop applications. In some cases, it's best to use a local blockchain that you can build for yourself. That's done using a tool known as Ganache. Ganache gives you tons of functionality that helps you build and test applications using your own local blockchain. It's so simple to get up and running with this, and we'll do that later in the lesson. Ganache is part of a larger suite of tools known as Truffle. Truffle gives you a lot of functionality that makes creating, deploying, and testing applications much simpler. You'll start by building smart contracts in Remix, like I mentioned, but you'll eventually be bringing these tools into Truffle because of all the added features it gives you. The final tool I wanted to introduce to you is known as Geth. You'll hear this come up a lot when talking about Ethereum, but I actually won't be getting to it until a little bit later. Geth allows you to set up a local Ethereum node on your own computer. While this can be really helpful, it works similar to a Bitcoin node in that you need to download the entire blockchain to your own computer to get set up. While it does provide great functionality, and I would say you should get set up eventually, I'll be leaning on using a tool like Infura to connect you to the blockchain without needing to download it for yourself. So, there's a quick overview of the tools we'll be working with throughout the upcoming lessons. Don't worry if you're not completely sure how this all fits together. I'll be going into a lot more detail about each of them as they become important for your development environment. I'll start with the tools that are quickest and easiest to get started with, and work towards those that take a little more effort to get up and running. Each of these tools can integrate with others in different ways, and I'll try to highlight as many useful features as I can. It's a lot of tools, but they're so helpful, and I think that you'll be happy that you get the opportunity to work with them so quickly. So, coming up, we'll dive into some of these tools and start exploring the Ethereum blockchain for ourselves.